Hello everybody and welcome to today's Queer Spirit video. Today I'm going to be talking about the goddess Athena from the Greek pantheon. So, as you may already know, Athena is the daughter of the god Zeus and the goddess Metis, who was the first wife of Zeus. And he swallowed Metis in a game of changing shapes in order to have access to her wisdom and counsel and still be able to marry Hera. At least in the beginning, this was an unfortunate choice for Zeus because Metis was already pregnant when he swallowed her. And so inside his head, she gave birth to Athena and then started making Athena's armor. Athena being a goddess of war, she is going to need a suit of armor. And so the story goes that Zeus had a literally pounding headache while Metis made this armor for Athena. And when it was ready, Athena emerged from Zeus's head, already a teenager young adult, clad in armor, brandishing a spear, already the goddess of wisdom and war. And the story goes that after that, she went off to live with Titan, who was sort of related to Poseidon in some ways, a sea god, who had a daughter named Pallas, who would have been then a lesser goddess or nymph, mortal but not really quite a human, and they were raised together and were very close. So here we get to the fun times of interpreting the relationships in mythology from the past. So some people read this as a young adulthood friendship. Others read this as a romantic relationship. That's my favorite interpretation, but depending on your lens, people see this differently. So, Pallas and Athena grew up together, were very close, and learned the art of war together. They practiced their training as warriors on each other and would have sort of show duels, if you will, as they were learning their skills. And one day, Zeus came to watch one of these mock battles. So they were mock battles in the sense that they were not supposed to get hurt, but they were using actual sharpened weapons. So Pallas and Athena are dueling, and Zeus is watching, and Pallas is doing very well, and so is Athena. They are about evenly matched, but Pallas starts maybe getting the upper hand, and Zeus is very upset at the idea of seeing his daughter, Athena, defeated by someone who is not as important a goddess. And so he took his shield called the Aegis, which we know from other stories is shiny enough to see your face in it, and flashed it in Pallas's eyes, just as Athena was attacking. And Athena expected Pallas to defend herself or deflect the blow, and didn't realize in time that she was distracted and ended up killing her accidentally. And Athena was overcome with grief by this and created a statue of Pallas that actually held the Aegis itself for a while in this version of this story. This is called the Palladium, which is eventually a statue that lives in Troy. And so, according to one version of this story, this is why Athena takes an extra name. So she is often referred to as Pallas Athena, and in one version of the story that is in tribute to this friend, lover, beloved of hers. There are other versions, of course, of all of these events, just as there always are in Greek mythology, and other potential ways that she got that name. But my favorite telling of this story is that this is a romantic partnership. They are in love. That is one of the reasons why Athena is so distraught when Pallas dies. And Athena is remarkable in Greek mythology, along with several other goddesses, for never having lovers after that. At least not ones that are recorded in the way that we typically look for recordings of romantic relationships in Greek mythology. So, I read Athena as a woman-loving woman goddess. Um, there are, of course, other ways to read her. She is one of what are often referred to as the virgin goddesses of Greek mythology. Others include Hestia and Artemis. And all of them can also be read as asexual in by sort of current eyes, which is, of course, also within the queer family umbrella. So, however you see her, Athena is a goddess of wisdom, cunning, war. She shows up to protect her favorite heroes over and over again. She's not thrilled when people put themselves next to her in competition, but the men and women and people of all genders who honor her, she is very generous with her gifts of counsel, advice, giving them skills, all of that. So that is our story for today. Thanks for watching.